Hello guys, welcome back to a brand new content this week, and we're gonna go through the 5.1 second half banner. I'm gonna give you guys a very raw and unscripted opinion of this banner, and hopefully it will give you guys some insights on your decisions to pull or not to pull for the banner itself. So now let's get right into it. So for the second half of 5.1 banners, we have Nahida and Hutao. The 4 stars can actually build you a very good team with either Hutao or Nahida, both. And it's actually one of the best release for 4 stars together with the 5-star characters this time, because you can actually literally build a team with the 4 stars here together with either Nahida or Hutao. It's especially good for new players who is coming into Genshin. So for the character Nahida, she is one of the best, if not the best, Dendro applicator and off-field DPS as well, okay guys? She is also easy to build, F2P friendly. You just have to give her a ton of EM. Nothing else. Prioritize everything on Elemental Mastery and you are quite good to go. From the 4 stars, to build a Nahida team, you just need Cookie Shinobu and Xingqiu. Both can build you a very good Hyper Bloom team. Cookie Shinobu can give you sustain because of her healing, and Xingqiu, Hydro Application, and also shielding as well. And for the last slot for this team, you can actually slot in maybe a Dendro MC. It's also a viable option, so 4 characters. So you can actually literally build one team of Nahida with Hyper Bloom using this combination. Okay, let's move on to Hutao. Hutao is also an amazing character that you can build off this banner. For Hutao, she is a pyro on-field DPS, okay? On-field. So she needs to be on-field all the time attacking. So off-field, you have a Xingqiu to let her proc her vaporize. So Hutao can be slightly more trickier to build because you need both crit rate, crit damage, and some HP, and a little bit of Elemental Mastery. But then again, if you are pulling for Hutao, do go for crit rate, crit damage, as a main stat, and HP of course, because she scales on HP. But she's trickier to build because you need 3 stats instead of 1 single stat like Nahida. Nahida runs off EM most of the time, but you can build her on crit damage as well. So it's a very good time to pull if you are just getting right into Genshin Impact. And for me, I'll be pulling for Nahida because I do not have her yet. She's my very first rerun, so I'm gonna take this chance to pull for Nahida. And I'll also be trying to C6 my Cookie Shinobu and Xingqiu. So let's move on to the weapon banner this time. So for the weapon banner, of course, there's a signature weapon for Nahida and Hutao, which is the 1,000 Floating Dreams for Nahida and Staff of Homa for Hutao. Both weapons are good. Okay, especially good time to pull for weapon if you guys want to pull for weapon banner. But of course, usually I would always recommend pulling only character banner if you guys are just starting out or in the mid game, because you need a variety of character to create your teams. But especially this time, the weapon banner is actually amazing. Okay, for the 4 stars, they actually give you quite a number of good weapons as well. For example, the Fruitful Hook can actually build you a very good plunge team if you are going for plunge. Dragon's Bane. So if you are pulling for Hutao and you do not have any weapon that you can give her yet, you can actually try to pull for a few pulls to get actually 1 Dragon's Bane, or even better, you can get it R5. Dragon's Bane can actually give you a ton of damage for Hutao. Later we'll be going through what are the things they give you for each refinement, okay? And Favonius Warbow. Okay, this is a staple for a lot of characters, okay? Because it generates a ton of energy from the Favonius bow. It's actually not bad at a bow, if not actually one of the best 4-star bows that you can actually find for energy recharge. Why I would roll for this banner, okay? It's either when you are rolling for a Nahida or a Hutao, but actually Staff of Homa can be used for other characters as well. But for 1,000 Floating Dreams, I think slightly limited, but it's still workable for a lot of characters. It's a win-win this time if you are pulling for either one of them, and if you lose that 50-50 to the other weapon, to the other 5-star here, it's still a win because both weapons are useful. For example, if I'm pulling for Nahida, and if I got a Staff of Homa, I would give it to my other characters, which is applicable to a lot of characters, okay, for this polearm. Okay, let's get into the weapon, 4-star weapons. For Fruitful Hook, it can give you a very good plunge bonus if you are doing a plunge team, especially good for Garming, because this is a claymore and this gives you amazing plunge bonus. Okay, this is just an R1. I'm not sure about R5 yet, so do comment down below if you guys know what's the R5 stats, okay? Lion's Roar give you a relatively decent attack, and it gives you bonus damage if the enemies is affected by pyro or electro, which is an amazing weapon, actually a decent weapon if you're starting out. Maybe you can give it to maybe a Chlorine. That's what I gave her at first. Okay, Dragon's Bane is one of the 4-star amazing weapon that you can give to a lot of characters, especially like Toma or even Hutao, because it gives you a ton of elemental mastery, which is good for vaporize or any elemental reaction. And it also gives you bonus damage to enemies affected by Hydro and Pyro, which is good for Hutao, Toma. These two is what I would usually give Dragon's Bane to. And then Eye of Perception. This weapon is a bit here and there. I would not recommend. But I mean, if you get it as a starter weapon, you can use it for a temporary time till you get a better catalyst weapon for your catalyst characters. Favonius Warbow. It's one of the best, if not the best, 4-star weapon you can find because it generates a lot of energy for your team. Especially good if you have a Yelan or a Fischl. This bow is amazing. It generates really a ton of energy. And it's a very good support weapon. All in all, in summary, this banner that is releasing in a few days time is actually very good to pull, a very good time to pull if you are getting into the game, even in mid game. End game wise, I would still pull for Nahida if you do not have her, because of her utility. During exploration, you can actually use elemental skill to pick up items as well. If you are building a good bloom team or hyper bloom team of Nahida, she is a amazing character to pull because of her utility, her bonus EM to team. Hutao, it's a tricky situation now because of new pyro DPS that is already in the game, but in my opinion, if you like her as a character that you would want to play, feel free to pull for her. She is also amazing, okay, in terms of dishing out damage. So in my opinion, you always pull for the characters you like because that's how you enjoy the gameplay. And after that, you can actually chase whatever characters that support your main character that you like. And I think that's the most important thing in playing any games. Do not always, just chase for meta or anything like that. Always try to enjoy the game, enjoy the characters you like before, chasing the damage. The starter characters that Genshin gives you can also complete endgame contents. Really, just pull for, just try to work hard for any characters you like instead of chasing the meta, okay guys? So that's the end for this time's video, and I hope it helped you guys in a way or another in terms of deciding what to pull, and I'll see you guys the next time. Peace guys.